Hi, welcome to Coding Bible channel. From this video, I will start talking about Angular basics, and we will start with data binding. And by data binding means binding the data between the class and the template. The data binding can be divided into two categories. The first one is one-way binding, and the second one is two-way binding. For the one-way binding, we have one way from the class to the template, and we have one way from template to the class. But this part can be called event binding. Okay, and we can consider this one as a category. So technically, data binding will be divided into three categories: the binding between the class or from the class to the template, and we have the event binding, and we have the two-way binding. And for the one-way binding, we have many types, and in this video I will start by the first one, which is interpolation. But before talking about interpolation, I want to tell you why data binding is useful. Because when the data is changed, for example, in the class, we need to show this changes, or we need that this changes is reflected in the template without refreshing the page. So this is why we need data binding. Okay, so let's start talking about interpolation. And for showing the interpolation, I will use the template here. Suppose that we need to show the title property here into our view. So for example, let's use h1 tag. Okay, but we need to show the value inside the title attribute. This is how interpolation works. We will just write the variable inside the two curly braces like this one. Okay, let's run our application. And also between the curly braces, you can write conditions. For example, suppose that we have a button. Okay, and let's call it, for example, change. Okay, and let's suppose that we have a Boolean variable called x. And for this, when we click this button, we will change the value of the variable. This will change the value of x. If it is true, it will be false, and vice versa. Okay, and suppose that we will need to write a condition here. If x is true, it will show the title, and if it's false, we will show word like no title, for example. Okay, so let's try it. As you can see, you can also here write condition, and when we talk in the future about Pybus, we will use Pybus inside this one. So actually, between the curly braces, you can write code. For example, you can write, for example, function call. For example, like let's name it get title, for example. Of course, we don't need all of this. Okay, so let's return this title. If we get this here, it will work the same without a problem. Also, inside the component decorator, we have a property called interpolation, in which you can change the character used for interpolation. I know that it shows error here, and I know that this error is not logic, and I reported this problem to Angular team, but I still waiting for the answer. Okay, but let's try using the new characters. As you can see, it works the same. But if you change the characters like this, you have to avoid using the curly braces in all template. I know this is not so much useful, and I don't know why Angular team put it here. And actually, I didn't see it in any course before, and it's not very useful, and I never used it before in any project. I know this is not important, but I have to tell you about it, because I have promised you before that I will explain the other properties inside component decorator, and this is one of these properties. Okay, and if we remove it, Angular will treat all of this as normal text. But if we return it back the curly braces, it will work again. Okay, and this is the end of the video, and if you have any question, don't hesitate to tell us or ask us, and thank you for watching.